What's up, YouTube? So today I want to do a video about distribution. There's a lot of people that don't quite understand how it works, and I want to explain to you if you're a new business owner, you're a streamer trying to get some product. I want to explain to you why you're not going to get any allocation from distribution, but why you should still open an account anyways. So, the first thing to know about distribution is just know that the way it's working right now, it's not personal, okay? It's not favoritism, it's risk. They are weighing risk management. And you should open an account anyway and start developing yourself in order to get Pokemon. Because I can tell you right now, it doesn't matter if you have a brick and mortar store, if you open an account right now in 2026, you're not going to get anything. And you should still work on that anyways. So let's kind of start with the myth of distribution. A lot of people seem to think you go to the distributor, you open an account with them, you make your orders, and you get your order, right? And that's not even how it works, like, at all in reality right now. Even if you think, okay, well, if I order 100 boxes, maybe they'll give me 10. You're going to order 100 boxes, and they're going to give you nothing, right? Anything, you're probably just going to annoy them, because everybody knows right now that Pokemon is hot. They're not even looking to open an account that's mainly dealing with Pokemon, right? So, for distributors, why are they operating like this, right? Well, it's not like a business-to-business Amazon wholesale type thing, right? You don't just go there and here it is, we put my order in, and that's it. It is business-to-business with relationship, okay? So that's the first thing you need to understand. It's a little bit different than just going and ordering from a system, right? With a lot of distribution, you're ordering, yes, with a system, with your rep in between. Okay, so the way that they have to operate is, obviously, let's take the example because Pokemon is hot right now, right? They know it's hot. Everybody wants Pokemon. So, if they were to let you have a new account and start sharing the limited amount of Pokemon product that they have, that means that's coming from accounts that had history with them, that have been purchasing with them, that have been steady and loyal to them, that are now going to get less, right? This is a risk profile for them. For anyone that's coming in, and they're just coming in because Pokemon is hot, and as soon as it's not hot anymore, they're out, that's risk that the distributor's taking because now they have fostered and supported your business during the hot time at the expense of those businesses that were loyal with them through the past however many years, whatever the time frame was, and now X game has slowed down. All these accounts have jumped out, and the accounts that were loyal to them, they kind of left them in the dust, right? So they have to weigh risk. Why would they want to foster someone that's not going to be here in 6 months' time, right? That's now someone that they've supported that will not be there to support them when things get tough again, right? So they have to manage their limited supply, protect their existing accounts, and weigh their risk, right? So, why will a new account not get much Pokemon? You have no purchase history. You have no payment track records, right? You haven't demonstrated that you can move these products. Pokemon moves itself, but for anything else beyond that, they understand, why am I going to deal with you? You probably won't be here, have the ability to sell these things. And no proof of long-term stability, right? So maybe you can sell it now, but will you be here in 3 months? Will you be here in 6 months? A year? 2 years? Right? So with all this being said, why would I tell you to still open an account anyways? Okay, so one thing is you need to start building purchase history. Okay, you need to show them that you are stable, you are steady, you are growing, and you are at a business model that's stable, right? A lot of people think you have to go in and boom, here's tens of thousands of dollars right on the table. Not necessarily true, right? Obviously you can't go spend $20 each week, but you need to spend at a level where you're showing you're either consistently at a steady pace of moving the products you're buying, or ideally if you can grow your business, that your orders are kind of becoming slightly larger, or at least not shrinking over time, right? You're showing that you are selling what you're purchasing, you're moving through those SKUs, and you're buying more, right? Purchasing the same SKUs over again is a great signal, right? Um, if you buy a bunch of binders, let's say for example, right, these are kind of evergreen products, they're really great to buy. If you buy some binders and you sell those and buy more, that signals to them, hey look, they were able to move this product and they took more off our hands, right? That is a good signal. Diversification is a good signal to them, right? Not just saying, well, I'm only getting Pokemon stuff, right? They look at that and say, well, I don't know, that's kind of risky, right? Like, if Pokemon goes into a bear market and your entire model is based on that, that's a risk, right? But if you're saying, hey, I want Pokemon, I know I can't get it, so I'm getting some sleeves, I'm getting some binders, but I'm also going to dabble in this game here. I'm going to get some of, these other types of items and whatnot, other SKUs, other franchises and IPs. That signals to them, you may not just be a flipper coming in and trying to open an account. You may have a business model that's stable, that will work, that can survive ups and downs in the market. You might be an account worth investing in, right? So make sure you order, make sure you pay, have reliable payment, don't have issues with your payment. That's one of the quickest ways to kill yourself in terms of being able to build a relationship. Learn your order cycles, right? Your pre-orders, understand pre-orders and back orders, and we'll kind of get a little more into that a little bit in the video. So support them, and that's a benefit for your business too if you diversify into these other categories, right? They want to sell these other games. Like I said, Pokemon sells itself. They don't need help selling Pokemon. What they do need help with is stores that can sell these other games, right? Cookie Run. There's some new a Riftbound one hitting. There's My Little Pony that's coming out. Things like this. Yes, they're not going to be huge. Well, let me caveat that with saying it will not be as big as Pokemon now. I'm not trying to do no future speculation on anything. Just saying, right now, they want to move other games that are not Pokemon. If you can help them do that, that will make you look good. It also has a benefit of, if and when Pokemon slows down, if you've been developing and building an audience base for these other games, that helps make your business model more stable, right? If you put all your eggs into one basket and that basket starts leaking, you're in a lot of trouble. But if you have these other games, that can really help make your business a lot more financially stable in the long run. So there's a benefit to doing that for both of you. And again, this is the risk analysis that they're weighing, right? If you're all in Pokemon and it goes down, you're probably going to be gone, is how they see it. And it's a risk for them to foster you, right? So the next thing that I want to talk about is there's some subtle mistakes here that will quietly hurt your allocation, right? Everybody knows about the big ones, right? Not paying, being pushy and rude. Obviously, those are not good for relationship building with your rep, right? But there's some subtle mistakes too that people may not realize that this is going to hurt you in terms of building that relationship as you work towards getting allocation, right? So don't do these things. Canceling allocated back orders, okay? If you open an account and you see, hey, you know what? There's these things here, binder. It's got really cool artwork on it, whatever it is. I want that, right? It kind of coincides with this next release that's happening. I think it'd be a good bundle. Let me get a bunch of those. Okay, cool. You put your pre-order in, you're good to go. You get allocated on it, and now you're waiting. And then all of a sudden, the market changes on you, right? Oh God, like that set is not going to be a really big hit. I don't know if I really want that many. I don't know if I can move it. Let me cancel some of those back orders. Allocation is a commitment signal, right? When you pre-order something, you're kind of committing to it, right? And once they've allocated it, they've now committed to it. You guys are now both in agreement You said, I want this many of this item. They have now confirmed you're going to get that many. May or may not be the same number you ordered, but once that happens, that is an understanding both of you have made. If you now go back and cancel that back order, either you ordered too many, the price changed on you, the market changed up on you, whatever the case is, and now you go back on that, they have now ordered that product, they're going to have it and now sit on it because you changed your mind. That does not make them happy. So don't do that, okay? If you have an allocated back order, let me say it again, it's allocated, do not cancel. The next thing is a lot of people, and this kind of goes back to thinking, oh, if I throw a lot of money at the problem, that's going to get me noticed. And that's not true either, right? If you go in and you say, oh, cool, this is coming in, let me back order $5,000 worth of this. They're going to look at me and I'm going to be looked at as a serious account, a big boy kind of thing. Depending on what it is, you may be sending the very wrong signal, okay? If you go in on something and you're just dropping huge amounts of money, I want a ton of, quantities of this particular unit. And, if it's a Pokemon item, yeah, everyone's doing that. But for anything that isn't going to be super hype train, they may look at that and say, well, based on your store size and your normal orders, the fact that you're ordering this many units and throwing this much money at this particular SKU or whatever it is, it could be a potential red flag. Okay? If you're a smaller retailer like myself, right? And also I'm coming in, I'm saying, hey, I want $10,000 of, My Little Pony that's coming out. Well, they may look at that at first and say, oh, that's cool, they're investing in My Little Pony, that's good for me. Wait a second. This store normally orders X amount of dollar product this each month, and now you're coming in ordering $10,000 of this, which represents a lot more than you normally spend. That's risk profile, right? Now it looks like you are risky. Is your business something that can actually sustain this? Are you speculating? That's a red flag to them, right? They do not want risky businesses. So if you order that and you can move it, great, right? But just be aware not to engage in behavior that could be looked at as speculative if you don't actually have the business model to move those things. Otherwise, you can be stuck in inventory. Don't even think about trying to ask for any returns. And again, do not cancel allocated back orders. So if you're ordering $10,000 of My Little Pony, you better be paying for $10,000 of My Little Pony if that's what comes in and that's what you're allocated. The other thing is, don't just show up for the hot releases, right? If you're one of those accounts that, oh, this is going to be a hot set, you jump in, you order a bunch of it, and then you kind of jump back out again until the next big thing comes in. You're like, oh, okay, let me jump in, let me get a bunch of it. Don't do that, okay? Because again, you are working on building a relationship with your rep, with that company. Again, that's managing risk. And if you're one of those that only shows up when something's hot, that doesn't help them. If it's hot, they don't need help selling it. Okay? It sells itself. So you're one of those accounts that really doesn't do anything for them. Why would they foster you? Why would they help support your business if you're not helping support theirs? Okay? The other thing is emotional communication. Okay? We understand that allocations are tight right now. We understand that, you order $10,000 worth of a given, Pokemon set, and, you're getting 10% of that, right? Don't send a nasty email to your rep. Don't act entitled. Like I said in the beginning of the video, this is not a personal thing, right? It's not favoritism. It's risk management. It's protecting older accounts. It's seeing if newer accounts can prove themselves to kind of graduate up into those long-term stable accounts. So don't do that, because your rep will remember that. Okay, and if and when the time comes when your relationship, let's say your history and spend have gotten to the point where you might be allowed to have something, Your rep is going to be the one to decide, okay, yes, technically you're allowed to have something. Am I going to allocate anything for you? And that's where, if you've had negative interactions with them in the past, they will remember that, right? They remember you as the emotional account, the one that's difficult to deal with, the one that always causes problems. You know, don't do that. Don't cause problems. Some of the items that I've ordered, some binders and whatnot, they got some little scratches on the surface, right? So I can't sell it because it's damaged now. I'm not going to email him or call him and say, hey, can I get a replacement? Like, this one's got a little scratch on it, right? Like, I'm causing a problem for one little thing, right? Okay, so it cost me $15, $20, whatever the heck it was. I'll discount it, I'll give it away, some giveaway thing, whatever. It's not worth causing a problem over. Okay, now you may feel differently, and that's fine. I'm just here to tell you that if you're going to be one of those accounts that causes problems, they will remember that. Now that's not to say there's a legitimate issue, right? Something is ongoing, it's a huge dollar amount, they crushed a box, that's different, right? But if it's tiny little things here and there, don't be the one they look at and say, oh, God, this is a high maintenance account, they just did an order, and I just know there's going to be something they're going to complain about it, right? Don't be one of those, because you're not going to get any allocation from them. Your rep will say, you know what, you get nothing, even if you are allowed to. Along those same lines, don't treat this as just transactional, like business to business, right? You're not going to Amazon, just putting the order in, buy now, click, 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 done, right? You are trying to make sure you fit the qualities of whatever, criteria has been set in the background of whatever distributor that you happen to be with. And then once you kind of meet those metrics, now your rep is the one that will decide, okay, so I have, say, 30 accounts in this pool of eligibility for, any given item. I've just had 70 units of this item come in that I'm allowed to allocate to my accounts. So out of these 30 accounts that are eligible, right, how many of them are problems? Okay, these 3, cut those 3 out. This one, these 4 here, they always have payment issues, their card is maxed out, the payment never seems to go through, whatever. Not dealing with it, cut those accounts out. These ones here, they're inconsistent, they pop in and out, so kick those 5 out, right? Now what they're left with is, okay, so here's my 20 some odd accounts, whatever it is, that I will allocate some to. Here's my big boy, he's going to get X amount of these units, going down the list until finally, okay, this one's newer, you just kind of hit into that tier, but you've been good, you've been solid, here you can have, 5. You'll get 5 of these units that I have available. That's when things start changing for you, right? So do all the things that you need to do. Make sure you are supporting them to make them feel comfortable supporting you, right? Try to diversify if your capital allows it. And not just for their benefit, but like I explained, for your benefit as well, right? Don't cancel your back orders. Don't try to do speculative ordering, or do within reason. Don't just show up for the hot items. Don't have emotional communication, and don't treat this as like a transactional business thing, right? This is a relationship building with your rep being the face of the company that you're interacting with. If you're a retail customer, you're wondering, okay, well, your store, don't you get allocation, right? Stores are requesting way more than they're receiving, right? They're requesting, like I said earlier, you can buy $10,000 worth of product. Maybe you'll get $1,000 if you've got some history with them, right? It's tough right now. And this isn't meant to be like a complaint, it's just kind of the reality of how this model and how many players are in this space cause it to be right now, right? The distributor does not control the print runs, right? That's like the Pokemon Company. They're determining their print runs of any given set. Distribution just gets what they get, and then they have to allocate it out to their existing accounts. So kind of the final takeaway of this is just another distribution right now is a long-term game, right? So if you're looking to get into the business and you're trying to get Pokemon, I'm going to tell you right now, in 2026, you will not get Pokemon, but open an account anyway. Now, if you're trying to jump in just to flip Pokemon, okay, don't bother. It's not going to be worth your time, right? But if you are trying to build an established, long-term, legitimate business, you need to start doing these things now, okay? Stability will earn their trust. This is a hot market right now. They know that. So if you come in and you can show that you are stable and you can get your business going while supporting these other auxiliary categories, the binders and the sleeves and the top loaders and all those kinds of things, use that to build that history. Those are things that you can buy. Other TCGs, just show them that you are here for the long term, that you have the business stability to still be here 6 months, a year from now. Professionalism compounds, right? So communicate professionally with your rep. Show them that you are a legitimate business owner. You know what you're doing, and you're not just some fly-by-night flipper, right? They see that all the time because everybody right now is trying to jump into Pokemon, so they see it, they know it, they can recognize it. Don't be one of those. If you are one of those watching this video, I'm going to tell you right now. Okay, so I almost made it through the entire video without interruption. Sorry about that cut. I guess so. The closing line would be the stores that currently get allocation right now. They didn't demand it. Okay, they earned it. So if that's what you want, you need to start doing those things, start earning it now. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments below. I plan to make more videos about the business and whatnot. Let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.